It's fine.
By myself?
Yeah, you're on an island over there.
I guess, yeah.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. I will call the August quarterly meeting of the Board of Trustees of Illinois State University to order. I note for the record that the notice of today's meeting was posted in accordance with the Illinois Open Meetings Act and that the public has been notified of the date, time, and location of this meeting. As included in the notice of the meeting, the university has provided a YouTube link that allows all interested persons to contemporaneously view the meeting and hear all discussion and votes. We'd like to welcome Anthony Bird, 1999, of Swansea, Illinois, who has been appointed to the Board of Trustees of Illinois State University by Governor Pritzker. He's a 1999 graduate of Illinois State University, earning a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Trustee Bird's term extends to January 20th, 2025. Trustee Bird serves as a senior U.S. pretrial services officer and special offenders specialist. He was recently appointed as the newest member of the three-person police fire commission for the village of Swansea, Illinois. Unfortunately, since the appointment was so late, he's unable to be with us today, but he will be with us at the next meeting. At this time, Trustee Bone, will you call the roll?
Trustee Bone, present. Trustee Dobsky.
Present.
Trustee Jones.
Present.
Trustee Lauterbach.
Present.
Trustee Navarro.
Present.
Chairperson Lauterbach, we have a quorum.
Thank you. You have before you the agenda for today's meeting. May I have a motion and second to approve the agenda?
So moved, Bone.
So moved by Bone,
Second.
second by Trustee Jones. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You have before you the meeting minutes of May 6, 2022, the executive session minutes of October 15, 2021, executive session minutes of December 11, 2021, and executive session minutes of February 18, 2022. Could I have a motion, please, and a second to review and approve the minutes of May 6, 2022 meeting, as well as review, approve, and release the executive session minutes of October 15, 2021, December 11, 2021, and February 18, 2022.
I so move.
Second, Bone.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. The minutes of the May 6, 2022 meeting are approved, and the executive minutes of the October 15, 2021, December 11, 2021, and February 18, 2022 meetings are reviewed, approved, and released. Next on the public agenda are public comments. As we have no one here for public comments, we will continue on. The next item of business on the agenda is the election of officers. For the first board meeting of each fiscal year, the trustees elect board officers for the year by secret ballot as required by the Illinois State University law. Are there nominations for the office of chairperson of the Board of Trustees of Illinois State University?
I'd like to nominate Dr. Mary Ann Lauterbach for chairperson of the Board of Trustees.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Navarro.
Are there any other nominations? Mary Ann Lauterbach has been nominated to be the chair of the Board of Trustees by Trustee Dobsky and seconded by Trustee Navarro. If there are no other nominations, I will ask for nomination to be closed. Is there a motion to close?
So moved, Bone.
I'll second.
All in favor of the motion to close nominations, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The nominations are closed. Mary Ann Lauterbach has been nominated for the position of chairperson of the Board of Trustees. I will now ask the trustees to vote by secret ballot on a sheet of paper from the pad provided. Please write the last name of the individual you wish to vote for. Fold the paper, and Board Counsel Carrie Haas will collect each trustee's vote and tabulate the votes. And since it's a legal document, we have to do that. Pass them down.
I have counted the votes, and Trustee Lauterbach has been elected chairperson of the Board of Trustees of Illinois State University. Congratulations, Trustee Lauterbach.
Thank you. I am truly honored and humbled. I appreciate the confidence of my colleagues of the board, and I look forward to working as we have before us. We will now proceed with the election of the Secretary of the Board of Trustees of Illinois State University. Are there nominations for the office of Secretary of the Board of Trustees of Illinois State University?
I nominate Kathy Bone as Secretary of the Board of Trustees.
Is
And
there a
I'll
second?
second it.
Are there other nominations? If there are no other nominations, I will ask for nominations to be closed. Is there a motion to close nominations?
I'll motion.
Second?
I'll second, Navarro.
All in favor for the motion to close nominations, say aye.
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 Opposed? Kathy Bone has been nominated for the position of Secretary of the Board of Trustees. I will now ask the trustees to vote by secret ballot on a sheet of paper from the pad provided. Please write the last name of the individual you wish to vote for. Fold the paper, and Board Counsel Carrie Haas will collect each trustee's vote and tabulate the votes.
I have counted the votes, and Trustee Bond has been elected Secretary of the Board of Trustees of Illinois State University. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate your support, and I'm honored to serve as the board secretary. I look forward to working with the other members of the board in this role. Thank you.
With the beginning of a new fiscal year, it's time to make appointments to the Board of Trustees committees and appointments to the university and state boards. The executive committee, consistent with the board bylaws, will consist of the chairperson, board secretary, and the chair of the audit committee, Bob Navarro. The audit committee will consist of Chair Bob Navarro, Trustee Lauterbach, and Trustee Dobsky. The Trustee Bone will serve as liaison to the foundation board. Trustee Navarro will serve as liaison to the Alumni Association, and Trustee Jones will serve as a liaison to the Civil Service Board. It is the duty of the board to select the university staff as an employee to serve as the treasurer of the Board of Trustees. The treasurer serves in an ex officio capacity and receives and disperses all monies and reports to the Board of Trustees on the financial status and fiscal affairs of the university. At Illinois State, that person traditionally has been the vice president for finance and planning. We will continue with that tradition, so Dan Stevens will serve as treasurer. In addition, it is the duty of the board chairperson to designate a university representative to serve as an ex officio member of the Municipal Clerks Training Institute Committee. The committee serves as an advisory capacity and helps develop curriculum for municipal clerks training courses. I have designated Rob Lemler, Director of Internal Auditing and University Ethics Officer, for that task. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today for our meeting of the Board of Trustees on August 15, 2022. This meeting was postponed from July 2022 due to failure to establish a quorum. As we approach the 2023 academic year, I want to sincerely thank our faculty, staff, and students for their extraordinary efforts. For more than 2 years, we have been living with the coronavirus pandemic and its many impacts. Thank you to our faculty and staff for providing the best possible experience for our students during a rapidly changing and uncertain environment, and to our campus community for their continual resilience, flexibility, and adaptability. Lastly, I want to congratulate our admissions and enrollment management teams and all of you who play a role in recruiting students to Illinois State University. President Kinsey keeps us apprised of the status of applications, admits, and deposits. We anticipate strong enrollment for the fall 2022 term, and I will now turn it to President Kinsey for her remarks.
Thank you, Chairperson Lauterbach, and congratulations on being re-elected Chairperson of the Board, and congratulations to Trustee Bones on being elected Secretary. I want to begin my remarks by thanking the Board for your support of Illinois State University and the extensive amount of time you devote without compensation to the university. Your dedication is much appreciated. I am pleased to share with you all that the university will provide a 3.5% merit-based salary increase effective September 1st, 2022 for faculty and staff with non-negotiated appointments. This email has just gone out to the university community. I want to thank our faculty and staff for their dedication to Illinois State University and for the work that has been done to prepare for the academic year. So in fact, today is move-in day and classes begin next Monday. And I think that the energy on campus is electric, and that is due in no small part to the efforts of our faculty and staff. I also wanted to take a moment and recognize some new leaders that have joined Illinois State University. Francis Ebenezer Godwin joined Illinois State on June 1 as Dean of the College of Education. He most recently served as Dean of the College of Education and Human Services at Western Illinois University. And on July 16th, Heather Dillaway began as the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and comes to Illinois State from Wayne State University, where she served as an Associate Dean in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Francis and Heather are here with us today. Can you please stand so we can officially welcome you to Illinois State University? Thank you so much. It's a day of great news. We are excited about the enrollment forecast for the fall semester. Deposits for first-time in college students are up 20% compared to this time last year. Preview numbers were up a strong 14%, and the average GPA has grown to 3.62, and nearly 35% of our incoming class is predicted to be from a racially diverse group. Additionally, our transfers are up 2.7%, and graduate admits are up 25.6%. Our international class looks strong as well. At this time, total enrollment is predicted to have rebounded from last fall, around 20,500 or so, and retention numbers look to be on par with last year. This doesn't happen in a vacuum, and I want to thank Janet Albrecht and Jeff Mavros, who I believe are here with us today. Stand up and say hi to the nice people. And the entire enrollment management staff, admissions, housing, the honors program, University College, the registrar's office, the graduate school, our academic advisors, and everyone who helps make enrollment a success story at Illinois State University. You all can help us too. Keep telling the great Illinois State story to every high school student that you meet. I would like to second the appreciation expressed by our board chairperson in regard to the significant and ongoing efforts of the campus to respond to the challenges of COVID-19. As we approach the fall term, I want to remind our students, faculty, and staff that vaccination continues to be the best and most effective way to protect yourself and others. As the pandemic enters the endemic stage, it is still important to be diligent in our approach to coronavirus. So if you've not yet received the COVID vaccine or booster, you are encouraged to do so and submit your results to the secure patient health portal. We also continue to advance our work in equity, diversity, and inclusion, or what we call EDI, at Illinois State University. In reference to our enrollment success, Illinois State University has partnered with Hope Chicago and Chicago Public Schools. You may have seen Hope Chicago, a unique two-generational program for scholarships for post-secondary education to CPS students and their parents, when it was on 60 Minutes, and I believe it repeated again last night. Hope scholars that are accepted to Illinois State receive full tuition, fees, room, and board, and the parents have the option to apply the following year. This fall, we anticipate about 60 of these Hope scholars will be joining us at Illinois State. In late June, more than 15 Illinois State faculty administrators attended a restorative practices leadership training offered by the Regional Office of Education in partnership with the College of Education. The restorative practice leadership model teaches participants skills and strategies to foster and facilitate engagement, work through conflict, and build positive relationships. So let's keep the good news coming in the area of university advancement. The team in university advancement, headed by Pat Vickerman, wave to the nice people, Pat, raised over $31.2 million in private support in fiscal year 22. I particularly want to recognize the College of Education for tallying more than $8 million, making it a record-setting fundraising year for the college. Overall, this was the third highest in ISU history, and the first time over $30 million was generated without an 8-figure commitment. So a special thanks to all of our faculty, staff, alumni, friends, who continue to generously support our students, faculty, staff, and our programs. Your investment is inspiring and helps us to be bold in shaping the Illinois State experience for generations of Redbirds to come. So moving on to athletics, there's a lot to celebrate as well. In the area of individual accomplishment, you may have seen that our baseball player, Ryan Cermak, was selected in the second round, 71st overall by the Tampa Bay Rays in the 2022 Major League Baseball draft. He's the first Redbird to be named a Rawlings Gold Glove winner at the national level, on top of numerous Missouri Valley Conference and district awards. We extend our congratulations to Ryan, and we can't wait to see him play. Illinois State has also, for the third consecutive year, won the Missouri Valley Conference All-Sports Trophy. It's based on an average finish in all of our sports, and I can't help but be proud of the fact that 5 of our women's teams were Missouri Valley Conference champions, leading the way to this prestigious award. So now we have to go for 4. I can't help it. I'm a competitive person. And Illinois State will also be represented well in our conference leadership this year. Kyle Brennan will be serving as the leader of the Athletic Directors Council for the Missouri Valley Conference, and I will serve as the chair of the Missouri Valley Football Conference President's Council. So we're going to keep an eye on making sure our conferences remain strong. We also have another new leader who unfortunately could not be with us today. Mariska Kresge is our new women's soccer coach. She's a former Illinois State assistant in Redbird soccer and spent the last 5 years at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where she helped lead the Badgers to a Big Ten conference and 4 NCAA tournament appearances, including 3 trips to the Sweet 16. I also want to talk a little bit about name, image, likeness, and voice, or the NIL program. You've probably heard a lot in the news, and Illinois was one of the states to very early on support that students could obtain fair market value for the use of their name, image, likeness, and voice. Now, our program at Illinois State, called Visualize, is unique in that it offers education, professional development, and community engagement to encourage NIL opportunities for our students. Athletics has partnered with numerous other organizations within the technology, business, and professional development industry to provide this programming, knowledge, insight, and resources for our students athletes. This is a game changer for them and will help them in their long-term careers, no matter whether they play professional sports, end up in the business world, or teaching in a classroom. These are real-life skills that will be an incredible benefit to all of our players and all of our future recruits. So I want to thank everyone that's had the vision to diligently create this program, but I specifically want to call out 3 individuals that are really leading this effort: Nona Richardson, Maya Bulger, and Dayton Hames, who are leading this effort and here with us today. Can you please stand and say hi? And last in athletics, Redbird Athletics celebrated the 50th anniversary of Title IX with a 3-day celebration, June 24th through 26th, just a few days after the 50th anniversary on June 23rd. It's hard to believe that was 1917 when this happened, but this legislation, which was civil rights law, prohibits sex-based discrimination in any educational institution that receives federal funding. Now, we have to thank Jill Hutchison, class of 69, and Linda Herman, class of 72 and 83, as well as Leanna Bordner, who's here with us today. Stand, Leanna. They had the vision for this program, and I would dare to say that there's not a university in this country that took this achievement as seriously as Illinois State, and for which we've received great recognition, and which for those of us that was there was really a testament to how far as an institution we've come in promoting equity. Now, our Redbirds continue to impress in many ways, whether it's academic achievements, these advances in equity, diversity, inclusion, service learning, or competitive arenas. We have so much to be proud of, but I want to call out a few things. Dr. Marilyn Presson has been awarded over $500,000 from Abbott Laboratories to conduct the first clinical trial in Illinois State's history. Her study, examining the reliability and validity of the New York Heart Association classification guide to assign classes for patients with heart failure and application into practice, is an achievement for our School of Nursing. The College of Business Department of Accounting received national recognition this year when Megan Hartley, who got an MS in accounting, received the Elijah Watt Sells Award in accounting. This award recognizes CPA candidates who excel in the uniform CPA examination. 72,000 people sat for the exam, and only 57 met the qualifications for this award, so we're very proud of Megan. And Dr. Charles Bell is a finalist for the prestigious C. Wright Mills Award for his book titled Suspended: Punishment, Violence, and the Failure of School Safety. And I'll say, if you follow him on Twitter, it's clear that he's out telling this story and representing Illinois State all over the country for this important work. And speaking about representing the university, University Marketing and Communications and Admissions won a Grand Gold Award from the Council for the Advancement and Support of Education for our Admissions View Book. Maybe that helped us this year a little bit. It is essentially the top admissions view book in the world for 2022. This global competition had 4,500 entries from 28 countries. And Marketing, Communications, and Development and Annual Giving also won gold and bronze awards for Giving Day videos, including Birds Give Back, Mission Possible, which includes some incredible acting performances, if you may recall. I mean, I'm talking about Reggie Redbird. He certainly has a range that few other birds have. Reggie Con, which we're also very proud of as a tradition here at Illinois State, also garnered a gold award. And then you've seen how great the Bone has been. I mean, it's been about 1.5 years since we reopened. And in FY22, we hosted 1.24 million visitors to this building. It's become the hot spot, not just on campus, but for our community. And our athletics teams in our club sports have also returned to full practice and travel, and we've seen a lot of great success. I want to call out our men's rugby team, which was crowned the Great Midwest Rugby Champions and moved on to the national tournament all the way to the Elite Eight, and men's and women's bowling, which qualified for the national tournament. And 6 players were recognized on the bowling team for their academic accomplishments as well. Also, as I said, it's move-in day today, and so I want to give accolades to housing services that will emphasize sustainability during move-in. Students will receive a list in their rooms outlining all the ways that Redbirds embrace sustainability on campus and how they can get involved from day one. It's things like recycling, Fix-It Fridays, free cycle initiatives, conserving energy or water, turning off the water while brushing your teeth, which I do, using window shades and refillable water stations. So all of these are opportunities that are so important for our commitment to sustainability. I want to wrap up with one last hot off the press, just got the email announcement, which is that R.C. McBride of WGLT has been appointed to the National NPR Board of Directors. R.C., I saw you. There you are. Can you stand up, please? We're very proud of our public radio station and its commitment to our community, and congratulations on this very significant honor. I would now like to call on the spokesperson for the Campus Communications Committee, Stuart Palmer, who serves as chair of the Civil Service Council and is an honors advising specialist in the honors program, for a report.
Good morning, everyone,
Good morning.
and happy move-in day. It's exciting to be here. I'm not sure where the summer went, but we got here all the same, and it's always exciting to see the students coming back to campus. The Campus Communication Committee would like to thank everyone who was involved in our summer new student orientation program preview. We are very excited, and we're very excited, that this orientation occurred for the first time in person since 2019. I can tell you personally that it was much better to be back in person than sitting in a Zoom room for 2 months of the summer. Staff across campus worked very hard all summer long to welcome our new students to campus and the university, and we cannot thank them enough for all of their incredible hard work. We are looking forward to working with the incoming fall class, which could be among the largest in recent years. As the president noted, enrollment deposits are up 20% from this time last year, and we are excited to see that some of our freshman students are recipients of the Hope Chicago Scholarships, a full tuition scholarship program that helps public and charter school students in Chicago Public Schools pursue higher education. This is an extremely positive development in supporting incoming students to the university and to the university's diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Now, while the prospect of a large incoming class is exciting, we recognize that there will be challenges that the campus will need to address to accommodate these students as they live and learn on campus. As in years prior, our colleagues in University Housing Services are working diligently to ensure all students will have living spaces on our campus. They have been planning mitigating measures for months in anticipation of the increased housing needs, including opening additional housing spaces and granting more housing exceptions for our returning students. We appreciate the Dean of Students' Office being attentive to the needs of both our on-campus and off-campus students. In a time of increasing enrollments and low inventory of residential housing in our community, and we urge students to make use of the off-campus housing services provided by the Dean of Students Office to address their housing needs. Given staffing shortages in many areas of campus and our community, campus dining may also be a challenge area as we welcome a large class of students to campus this fall. We urge the administration to continue making plans to provide support to these areas to help make students comfortable while attending Illinois State University. A large incoming class also proposes challenges related to learning on our campus. Throughout the summer, schools and departments have been diligently adding course offerings to the fall schedule to meet the demands of our incoming class. And as an advisor, we thank you very much for that. As we continue to increase the number of course offerings, we encourage the administration to be mindful of maintaining enrollment maximums in classes, especially those that are typically smaller in nature. Our traditionally small class sizes contribute to student success, allow for individualized attention, and contribute to a feeling of belonging among all of our students. As we continue to plan for the future, we hope to see an increase in tenure-track faculty searches to maintain the quality level of instruction Illinois State University is known for. The Campus Communication Committee would also like to thank our Illinois State University Police Department for their prompt response, as well as the Normal Police Department for their ongoing hard work in investigating the unfortunate shooting incident near campus back on July 9th. These events are especially concerning given the national climate and the high number of mass shootings throughout the country this year. We sincerely appreciate all the work of our local police and the quality that they provide and do on our campus, and to the community to keep us informed and safe. We continue to look forward to receiving the outcome of the coach and staff success surveys. With a large incoming class this fall, there will be more challenges and stressors among our faculty and staff. We anticipate the data of those surveys will show the needs of our faculty and staff regarding their success and how to support and contribute to the retention of our faculty and staff as well. We look forward to working with the administration in supporting our areas of strength and analyzing areas of growth that will be revealed by this data. Regarding the success of our faculty and staff, we also support the language change and updates to policies concerning flexible work arrangements, which are a trend in our modern workforce. We are encouraged to see the administration support more flexible work arrangements and look forward to seeing how these policies will be implemented across campus. The Campus Communication Committee is also very excited by the construction happening on campus this summer, including the expanded nursing simulation lab and the completion of our new esports facility. These projects will continue to give our students the best education and experience at Illinois State University. We look forward to hearing more about the plans that are in development for a new housing facility as we continue to expand our student population. The university has much to look forward to this fall and moving forward, and together we will continue to teach and to learn. With that, I will close this letter, as so many before have been closed, by saying, "Go you Redbirds." Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. There will not be a legislative update today because the legislature is not in session, so we will move forward with the agenda. Today we are excited to learn more about Illinois State's Sustainability Strategic Plan, which there are copies as you came in. I hope you got one. Please welcome Elizabeth Reed, Director of the Office of Sustainability, for a short presentation.
Good morning. Good morning. I am eager to share with you our ISU Sustainability Strategic Plan. This is the first of its kind at our university, so it's a very exciting time. To start off, as President Kinsey mentioned, you should all have copies of the document, but we have printed a limited quantity of these on recycled paper, of course, but obviously we want to conserve paper, so we're encouraging everyone to either reuse, share the printed documents, and instead refer to our digital version that is on our website. I don't know if we could pull it up, or if not, it's okay. It's on sustainability.illinoisstate.edu. There's a PDF there that you can pull up, and University Marketing is working on a more interactive type of PDF that will be up there soon. So you can reference that as more of a digital more environmentally friendly option there. You can also see that we have a smaller, more condensed version. This is a quick reference for faculty and staff to just have on their desk, really trying to keep sustainability top of mind. So I'm just going to highlight a few items here this morning about the plan and then leave you to review the document more thoroughly on your own time. A task force of about 30 faculty, staff, and students from across campus assisted with writing this plan over the course of 18 months. We examined our current practices to find our strengths, analyzed how we have performed on various sustainability reports in the past. We evaluated example sustainability strategic plans from peer institutions and utilized a campus-wide survey to direct us on different short and long-term goals. What we have created truly builds on our strengths here at ISU, showcasing much of what we are already doing, and we're doing some really great work, but encouraging collaboration to grow sustainability efforts even further across our university. Our intention for this plan is to serve as a roadmap for sustainability goals and commitments moving forward. As you will see as you review the document later, sustainability really is everywhere, and this plan demonstrates that. It includes goals and action items within academics and research, engagement and partnerships, energy, waste reduction, transportation, food and events, buildings, and water and grounds. This includes then all areas of our campus, then working together from housing to athletics to EMDH to facilities and throughout our numerous colleges. If we can provide best practices throughout our campus, then our students will graduate and expect responsible and sustainable operations in the companies they work for, the communities and neighborhoods they live, the transportation they take to work, the food they purchase. A sustainable campus is where they can really make a positive impact on our world for generations to come, especially for all those future Redbirds. President Kinsey has appointed a Presidential Sustainability Committee, again representing different areas of campus to implement these goals and expand our current efforts. And this committee is very excited to get to work. I hope you will all take some time to review this document further on your own time. I am more than happy to receive feedback, answer questions, or help in any way. And all of our contact info is on our website, again, sustainability.illinoisstate.edu. I appreciate you giving me this time today. I am so proud of the work the task force did developing this plan and fully believe we can all work together towards a more sustainable ISU. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments from the board about the presentation?
It's very exciting.
Okay. I will second that, even though I'm not officially a seconder. So seeing no further questions, with the permission of our chairperson, I will proceed with the information items.
Please do.
Information item 2022.07-01, regarding adoption of Board of Trustees governing document policy regarding the establishment of a student trustee succession plan. The Board of Trustees of Illinois State University approved the Board of Trustees governing document policies with resolutions number 97.05/12 dated May 9th, 1997. Section 2015 of the Illinois State University law establishes requirement for membership terms and vacancies for members of the Illinois State Board of Trustees. In the event of a vacancy of one of the members appointed by the governor, the statute provides a mechanism to make temporary appointments. The student trustee member is required to be chosen by a campus-wide student election and fill other eligibility requirements in order to serve for their term of 1 year. However, there is no provision in the statute to address a vacancy for student trustees as there is for board members. The Board of Trustees proposes to adopt the following policy regarding the establishment of a student trustee succession plan at Illinois State University. Under membership of the Board of Trustees, there are 8 voting members on the Board of Trustees, 7 of whom are appointed by the governor pursuant to membership provisions of the Illinois State University Law 110 ILCS 675/02-15, hereinafter referred to as Illinois State University Law. The 8th member is an Illinois State University student who has met the statutory eligibility criteria as provided for in the membership provisions of the Illinois State University Law specific to student trustees and is chosen by a campus-wide election. If the student trustee position becomes vacant for any reason during the student trustee's one-year term, the student trustee candidate, having received the second most votes cast in the most recent campus-wide election, if applicable and statutorily eligible, will be selected to serve as the student trustee on an interim basis until such time as a campus-wide election is conducted, provided that such election occurs no later than 180 days after the student trustee position becomes vacant. The proposed amendment to the bylaws would introduce a provision that would, in the event of a vacancy in the student trustee position, allow the student trustee candidate who had received the second most votes cast in the most recent campus-wide election to serve on an interim basis until such time as another campus-wide election is conducted. This change would allow the board to maintain the critical representation of the student trustee even during times when it may not be feasible to have a campus-wide election. The change would also assist the board in maintaining sufficient members to conduct business and meet quorum requirements for sessions that occur outside of the regular semester. The second information item, 2022.07/02, regarding reading amendment of the Board of Trustees concerning document policy regarding board contractual authority of intergovernmental agreements. The Board of Trustees of Illinois State University approved the Board of Trustees governing policy with resolution number 97.05/12, dated May 9th, 1997. Section 5 of the Intergovernmental Cooperation Act, 5 ILCS 220/5, states that public agencies may contract with other public agencies to perform any governmental service, activity, or undertaking, providing that such contract shall be approved by the governing bodies of each part of the contract. These intergovernmental agreements, or IGAs, are commonly used for grants, leases, and other mutual aid between agencies. These IGAs have commonly been signed by the president of the university or the president's designee. The purpose of the proposed amendment is to recognize the delegation to sign these types of agreements from the Board of Trustees to the president and other university officials. The Board of Trustees proposes to amend Section A, Chapter 2 of the governing document. Under delegation of authority to the president, the president of Illinois State University shall be the chief executive officer of the university and is responsible to the board for the operations of the university. The president is granted the necessary authority to carry out those responsibilities except for powers that are legislative or judicial in nature, which cannot be delegated pursuant to applicable law. The board delegates to the president all authority, one, related to personnel of the university, including the authority to hire and terminate individual or employees of the university as provided for by board policy. Two, to make final determinants with regard to promotions, tenure, and sabbaticals for faculty and staff. Three, to approve capital projects and purchasing contracts up to and including $500,000 per project. Four, to enter into lease agreements of up to 10 years and up to $100,000 per year per agreement. Five, to execute all contracts, agreements, grants, intergovernmental contracts, leases, warranties, and other legally binding instruments, not otherwise requiring board approval, presented in the name of the Board of Trustees, which are necessary and appropriate to the normal operation of the institution and within the budgeted expenditures as approved by the Board of Trustees. Six, to license products and inventions of the university in accordance with university policies. Seven, to speak for the university before all federal, state, and local government officers, boards, and agencies. Information item number 3, 2022.07-03/03. First reading amendment of Board Trustees Governing Document Policy regarding lease authority. The Board of Trustees of Illinois State University approved the Board of Trustees Governing Document Policy with resolution number 97.05/12, dated May 9th, 1997. The Illinois Procurement Code 30 ILCS 500/40-25 authorizes leases for a period not to exceed 10 years. The proposed change to the governing document would amend the delegation section so that the lease authority authorizes the president to enter into a lease agreement up to $100,000 per year for a period of up to 10 years rather than 7 years. This change would align the lease period with the 10-year period authorized under the Illinois Procurement Code. The Board of Trustees proposes to amend Section A, Chapter 2 of the governing document, delegation of authority to the president. The president of Illinois State University shall be the chief executive officer of the university and is responsible to the board for the operations of the university. The president is granted the necessary authority to carry out those responsibilities except for powers that are legislative or judicial in nature, which cannot be delegated pursuant to applicable law. The board delegates to the president all authority, one, related to personnel of the university, including the authority to hire and terminate individual employees of the university as provided for by board policy. Two, to make final determinations with regards to promotions, tenure, sabbaticals, and sabbaticals for faculty and staff. Three, to approve capital projects and purchasing contracts up to and including $500,000 per project or contract. Four, to enter into lease agreements of up to 10 years and up to $100,000 per year per agreement. Five, to execute all contracts, agreements, grants, intergovernmental contracts, leases, warrants, and other binding legal instruments, not otherwise requiring board approval, presented in the name of the Board of Trustees, which are necessary and appropriate to the normal operation of the institution and within the budgeted expenditures approved by the Board of Trustees. Six, to license products and inventions of the university in accordance with university policies. Seven, to speak for the university before all federal, state, and local government officers, boards, and agencies. Information item 2022.07/04, first reading amendment of Board of Trustees governing document policy regarding definition of quorum. The Board of Trustees of Illinois State University approved the Board of Trustees governing document policies with resolution number 97.05/12 dated May 9th, 1997. The government document currently requires that 5 voting members of the board be physically present at the location of the meeting to establish quorum. This requirement is based on the presumption that the Board of Trustees will always have a full membership of 8, including 7 appointed trustees and 1 student and 1 elected student trustee. When the Board of Trustees does not have full membership of 8 members, the 5-member quorum requirement creates unintended challenges to the scheduling and conducting of meetings necessary for the university to operate. The Illinois State University law does not require 5 members to establish a quorum, and in fact, Section 20-25 of the Illinois State University law requires only that a majority of its members shall constitute a quorum. As such, it is proposed to amend the governing document to align the definition of quorum with the statutory requirement. The Board of Trustees proposes to amend Section 5 of the governing document. Section 5, quorum. A majority of the current voting members of the board shall be a quorum to transact business. A quorum of the board must be physically present at the location of the meeting or as is otherwise permitted by Illinois law. If a quorum of the board is physically present at the location of the meeting, a majority of the board may allow a member to attend the meeting by other means if the member is prevented from physically attending because of 1, personal illness or disability, 2, employment purposes or the business of the public body, or 3, a family or other emergency. Other means is by video or audio conference.
You can take a breather.
Thank you.
These items will be considered at the next Board of Trustees meeting. The information items were prepared by Board Counsel Carrie Haas, and I invite you to address any questions or concerns to her before the next board meeting. We will now proceed with the agenda.
Thank you. There is one report today, the Academic Plan 2022 to 2027, which was included in your board materials. The annually renewable plan includes a brief profile of the university strategic plan, an inventory of academic programs at the university, and academic program changes approved since June 30th, 2021. An inventory of academic programs and units at the university recognized by specialized accreditation associations, an update regarding academic initiatives, college strategic plans, and fiscal 2023 objectives. Summaries of academic program reviews conducted in fiscal year 2022, and a tentative schedule of academic program reviews from fiscal year 2023 through fiscal year 2030. Are there any questions or comments from the board about this report?
Anyone? You may proceed.
And now for the resolutions. Resolution 2022.07/27, authorization to acquire property insurance. Illinois State University, as a member of the Illinois Public Higher Education Cooperative, IPEC, has participated in a hybrid group cooperative purchase of property insurance placed by property insurance broker Alliant Insurance Services, Incorporated, and covered by Alliant Property Insurance Program, APIP. IPEC has secured their own independent tower of coverage within the APIP nationwide program. This independent tower of coverage allows IPEC members to take advantage of our minimal loss history and not share similar rates and rate increases with other APIP members who have coastal and earthquake exposures. This customized tower of coverage allows IPEC members access to comprehensive and very cost-competitive property insurance coverage. FY23's property insurance renewal amount is projected to be approximately $1.2 million, which is an increase of $100,000 or 9% over the prior year, which is in line with annual premiums paid 2 years ago in FY21. This is due to proactive management of the IPEC insurance program by its consortium members and the decision to change insurance brokers prior to the FY22 year. This increase in insurance premium in FY23 is not a reflection of significant property insurance losses, but is largely a result of current market conditions, labor shortages, increased material costs, and related supply chain issues. For fiscal year 2023, the university's property insurance program will have a $1 billion per occurrence limit with a $100,000 deductible payable for each occurrence. The property insurance exposure is further mitigated by the university's self-insurance fund of approximately $1.2 million. The funds for the insurance coverage come from general revenue and auxiliary facilities systems operating revenues. I ask for your approval of this resolution.
May I have a motion and a second for this resolution, please?
So moved, Bone.
Second, please.
Second, Kopsky.
Is there any discussion?
Are all the Illinois state schools using the same company, or are we, do we shop around in that with other ones?
Thank you for your question. Actually, going back a few years ago, it was a number of institutions across the region. And if you may have heard in the comments from President Kinsey a few years ago, because of a major rate increase by that consortium that included schools that had some very serious property losses, that there was an RFP put out in place that essentially identified the Illinois schools because we had a much lower risk profile. And when we did that, that actually got us the lower premium. So right now we're in kind of our own subset of insurance, and we're actually doing better than some of those other larger consortiums.
Any other questions? Thank you. All of those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is approved.
Thank you. Resolution 2022.07/28, approval of Town of Normal Fire Services Agreement. Annually, Illinois State University and the Town of Normal enter into an intergovernmental agreement for fire protection and emergency services provided to the university campus. The agreement is modified each year to require a new reimbursement rate to reflect the municipal costs associated with provision of these services. The Town of Normal uses a price index to calculate the new reimbursement rate that is determined by the Illinois Municipal League and used throughout the state and in other university communities. The Illinois Municipal Price Index is designed to quantify the increases in prices of goods and services purchased by Illinois municipalities. The fiscal year ended June 30th, 2021. Agreement required a reimbursement cost of $616.27. The updated index released by the Illinois Municipal League in June 2020 requires a 2% increase over the previous year cost, which equates to an annual increase of $12,321. The new agreement is effective from June 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2027, and includes a reimbursement cost of not to exceed $628,348 paid for by general revenue and auxiliary facilities operating revenues. I ask for your approval for this resolution.
May I have a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Jones, second.
Second, Bone.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is approved.
Thank you. Resolution 2022.07/29, authorization to enter contract with National Board for Professional Teaching Standards. The National Board Resource Centers has partnered with the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards, NBPTS, to increase the number of Illinois teachers certified by NBPTS and to provide mentoring and professional development to classroom teachers. The funds from this initiative are paid for by the Illinois State Board of Education to Illinois State University. School districts are eligible to apply for the funds. Each candidate from a district must meet NBPTS eligibility requirements, as well as requirements set by the Illinois State Board of Education. Each candidate subsidy is paid directly to NBPTS by Illinois State University. This resolution authorizes Illinois State to enter into a contract with the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards for $707,525,000 to pay the expenses incurred for supporting teacher candidates. I ask for your approval of this resolution.
May I have a motion and second to approve the resolution?
I so move. Navarro.
Trustee Navarro, second.
Dobbsky, second.
Is there any discussion? So this is none of our money.
Correct.
Thank you.
This is a service we provide as a public institution to the state and our educators.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is approved.
Thank you. Resolution 2022.07/30, authorization to issue auxiliary facilities system revenue refunding bonds, Series 2022B. The AFS is composed of facilities that either were constructed with proceeds from revenue bonds issued within the authority delegated by the state to the board, or two, now produce revenues that are used to operate and maintain AFS facilities. All revenues received in conjunction with the operation of ASF facilities are pledged toward the payment of outstanding revenue bonds and the operation and maintenance of the facilities. As of July 1, 2022, there will be 7 outstanding bond series: Series 2012A, Series 2016, Series 2018A, Series 2018B, Series 2018C, Series 2020A, and Series 2022A, with outstanding principal totaling $139.77 million. Current payments for the debt service of these obligations approximates $14.14 million annually until 2028, reducing to an average of approximately $9.14 million annually until 2033, then further reducing to approximately $4.72 million annually until 2039, with remaining payments approximately $1.53 million annually until final maturity in 2050. The board's auxiliary facilities systems revenue refunding bonds, Series 2022B, the Series 2022B bonds, will be issued in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $14 million to fund the refinancing of the board's auxiliary facility systems bonds, Series 2012A, and to pay the costs of issuance of the Series 2022B. Issuance of the Series 2022B bonds will decrease annual debt service payments as a result of lower interest rates currently available in the market. The estimated debt service savings, even after accounting for debt issuance cost, is estimated to exceed $200,000 over the life of the new debt paid by auxiliary facility system resources. I ask for your approval of this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second. Navarro.
Is there any discussion? It says lower rates. Are they still lower?
Yes, thank you for giving me the opportunity to announce what preliminarily is the rate. We had a very competitive bid process, and our existing debt was at 4%, and right now, if we approve this resolution, we will be closing the document tomorrow at just shy of a little less than 3%. So it'll save us actually close to, over the 10-year period, close to $700,000.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Any other questions? All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is approved.
Thank you. Resolution 2020.07/31, authorization for learning management system software agreement. The university's current learning management system, LMS, has been in place for nearly 10 years and is a solution with a shrinking share of the higher education marketplace, lacking many of the standard instructional and user-friendly access features expected by students and faculty. A multidisciplinary group of ISU faculty, advisors, students, and staff have recently completed a thorough review of several higher education focused product solutions and ultimately recommend Canvas, an LMS product owned by Instructure, as the desired future LMS provider for the university. Projected 5-year contract cost with Instructure is $500,000 for FY '23 and $462,500 each year for fiscal years '24 through '27, with a total not to exceed $2,350,000. Product implementation and final testing is planned during FY '23, with full campus rollout in the fall of 2023, or FY '24. The university plans to fully decommission the current LMS ReggieNet sometime in FY '24, thereby saving annual expenses of approximately $176,000 under the current support hosting agreement with Sakai. The 5-year contract period with Insure would run from August 1st, 2022 through July 31st, 2027. The university seeks Board of Trustees approval to enter into a 5-year contract, August 1, 2022 through July 31, 2027, with Instructure at a total cost not to exceed $2,350,000 paid by general revenue funds and student academic enhancement fees. I ask for your approval of this resolution.
May I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
Does this take into account the new esports learning center and everything, the software? It's all included in that coming up?
This application is predominantly used around in the classroom. This is our learning management system when students are taking classes, especially this last couple of years where a number of our courses had to be online. That's really what this platform is for.
So, every meeting, we seem to have one more piece of the computer. Are they all talking to each other now? Is that?
Charlie, you might want to come help me with this one. I've been up here too many times, so somebody else.
Are they talking to each other? Yes.
So this is going to help us the overall.
Yeah. Yeah. So this piece is, as Dan Stevens said, is for the learning management piece, right?
Right.
So it's what students learn and faculty use to teach. It sits on technology that I think you're referring to some of the other resolutions we've approved in the last 2 sessions, right?
Right.
Yeah, it sits on hardware that's been renewed, on the network that's being renewed. So it's all part of the puzzle.
Okay, no, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that we're not just doing pieces and that,
No.
up here, it's like everywhere else.
There is a big strategy, and these are pieces that are being replaced. Yeah.
We're just filling in the pods or
Yep.
whatever. Thank you. All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is approved.
Thank you. Resolution 2022.07/32, authorization for capital project WGLT relocation to Vidette Building. The Illinois State University Vidette Building, located on 500 West Locust Street, was originally built in 1994 and is owned and operated by Illinois State University. The newsprint industry has evolved, reducing the need for physical space for the newspaper staff. As a result, the Vidette newspaper is now online, requiring minimal office space as a home base. The university's public radio station, WGLT, is currently located on the 3rd floor of the old Union Building at 251 South School Street, and is a problematic location for WGLT and its guests due to locational awareness challenges, guest parking, and other access issues. The university plans to relocate WGLT into the Vidette Building and strategically integrate its business and operational functions with those of the Vidette, so as to enhance and expand both WGLT's public news service and hands-on journalism opportunities for staff and students working at the Vidette newspaper. The university seeks board approval for a capital project plan, design, and renovate 500 West Locust Street for a combined WGLT radio station and Vidette newspaper facility at a total cost of not to exceed $650,000 and paid for by general revenue funds. I ask for your approval for this resolution.
May I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution?
I so move.
Second?
Second, Bone.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Kathy?
So what happens to the old equipment? I assume they're replacing all the equipment. So what happens to the old equipment? And then I have another question to Pat Vickerman. I would assume that there would be some naming opportunities in this facility. Okay.
Thanks for the opportunity to speak. Specifically, a lot of our equipment, quite frankly, broadcast equipment, is past its useful life, and we have been replacing that over the last several years from WGLT funds. A lot of it is sitting in boxes waiting for a word on this project because we don't want to install and then move. So hopefully that answers that question.
So what do you do with the old equipment that's just,
Some of it we retain for backup. Again, some of it is beyond its useful life, and it would go to property control just like anything else that's outdated.
okay. And as I asked Pat, I am assuming there's some naming opportunities in the new facility that perhaps you could get former people from WGLT to consider that?
Yes, I mean, that's absolutely something we could consider and look into and work with our partners in advancement.
That was my foundation hat. I'll take it off now.
Thank you.
We like that hat.
Approximately how many staff, Vedette staff were working in that location prior to this change?
Prior to the newspaper ceasing to print,
Right.
that change, Vedette staff can run anywhere from 40 to 60. Now, they're often not there at the same time, and we have seen that diminish over the past several years. So we probably have about 40 students, but again, they're not there at the same time very often, and technology has kind of eliminated the need. In the old days when I would do that, you'd go cover a story, you'd have to go back to the office to write it up. They can just and prefer to do that from their residence most of the time.
So after the renovation, what's the split? Will GLT have like 60% of the building and Vedette
It's
40?
probably about 60-40, but we will also have a lot of common spaces. So things like the conference room will be totally shared. Our studios will be shared with the exception of WGLT's primary master control. So that'll give Vedette students opportunities to do things like podcasts or anything else they might want to branch into.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? So what general revenue funds? Everything is general revenue funds. I mean, someday does that not dry up?
Yeah, these represent our unrestricted resources that come from, again, tuition and available
They're the
fees.
unrestricted that we're-
These are unrestricted funds. These are not AFS funds. Like I said, if there were any grant funds, obviously, that come through foundation funds, they would certainly be used there.
Let's get working on that, Pat. All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is approved. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Resolution 2022.07/33, authorization to lease property at 200 North Grand Avenue West, Springfield, Illinois. Illinois State University proposes to partner with Memorial Health System in Springfield, Illinois to bring Illinois State's nursing program to the Springfield community. Memorial Health understands the need for more nursing professionals to serve healthcare needs throughout central Illinois and has agreed to extend a 10-year community benefit grant to Illinois State University to use in expanding the university's nursing program. Memorial Health will enter into agreements with the Illinois State University Foundation and Illinois State University to provide $6 million community benefit grant over a 10-year period to support this partnership. As a part of this partnership, Memorial Health System will sublease premises located at 200 North Grand Avenue West to Illinois State University to offer upper-level undergraduate nursing students an opportunity to complete their Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree at the New Springfield location. The proposed sublease shall be for a period of 5 years with an option to renew for an additional 5 years. The annual lease payments are currently scheduled to be $286,685 for year 1 through 5 and increasing to $296,813 for years 6 through 10, if extended, which is anticipated to be covered 100% through donated funds. As part of donor and program agreements, Memorial Health will provide annual donations of $580,000 to Illinois State University, subject to Illinois State University meeting agreed-upon enrollment targets for the site. The annual donation will cover program operation costs at the Springfield location, including the sublease payments for the new location. The sublease payment shall be adjusted on a one-time basis to account for tenant improvement costs above initial estimates, provided that the donor funds are also adjusted to cover the increased payments. In the event donor funds are insufficient to cover the annual rent, the parties have negotiated provisions in the sublease to provide for a teach-out of the cohorts and to end the sublease agreements. The university will also be responsible for additional operation costs estimated at $110,000 per year for common area maintenance, property tax, utility janitorial, and maintenance. Total planned gifts provided by Memorial Health over the 10-year agreement is approximately $6 million, which includes funds set aside for the sublease agreement. I ask for your approval of this resolution.
May I have a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second, Bone?
Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Please.
So it looks like the money that is going to be donated should cover this, if we meet the enrollment target. So are we looking pretty good with the enrollment targets for this? I know that-
Dan, maybe Andave or Judy should, since it's about enrollment.
Yes.
I know you heard fiscal.
Yeah, it really was about enrollment. Thank you.
That's why he sits in that chair.
We anticipate meeting those and exceeding it is our goal, for sure. And we have an aggressive recruitment plan, and we're rolling it into our EDI enrollment plan. So we're very excited about it. It will be new for us to go into the Springfield area in a significant way, but we do believe that we'll be able to meet that and exceed it.
Okay, and so,
Judy, could you talk for one moment about like the interest you have in students to transfer into our programs here in Normal versus the availability you have of slots for these third and fourth year students?
Yes, I will. Thank you for that tee-up. So we receive about 250 to 300 transfer applications. Right now, we currently admit 48 students of those almost 300. So we think there'll be opportunities that students would be willing to complete their education at the Springfield location. So our first choice is to find students that are coming from the region around Springfield. Obviously, Springfield is interested in nurses that want to stay in the Springfield area, so we want to partner with them on that. They're not required to stay in that area if they go through the Springfield location, but we think they will. But also we'll have students that may want to come to Illinois State for their freshman, sophomore year, and then go down to the Springfield location. Yes.
I'm sorry. How are you going to staff it? Like teachers there?
So
You're going to have more teachers, correct?
absolutely. We already have several that have expressed interest that they want to work in that location. We have a lot of faculty that live in Springfield already and make the commute, and then there are additional that we think would be interested. And Memorial is partnering with us because they have several master's and doctorally prepared nurses that are interested in teaching.
if this is approved, when is the timeline? When will we start this?
Fall of '23.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
just had a clarification. So we don't sign the lease until we have the money from Memorial.
I'm going to let Dan answer that.
I'm sorry, I don't want us
No, no.
signing a lease and we don't have the money.
Thank you for the question. Actually, the board, their board approved a few weeks ago the planned gift and the lease that they had to sign. So they're executing the lease. We're the sublessee. So it is just waiting on our approval, but they've already approved the entire gift, and they'll be donating those funds, essentially those funds, plus some additional operating funds in this first year.
But that's if we meet the target enrollment, which we think we will do, but.
Right,
they-
and we've
they're
got-
tied together.
Yeah, we've negotiated an agreement with them to where it is, especially in these first few years, it's a ramp up, and then after we hit the desired, usually probably about I'm thinking year 3 or year 4, we'll hit probably a maturity level, and so the performance metrics going forward there will be really a kind of a 3-year average, because there could be some peaks and valleys a little bit there, but so we've negotiated a very good agreement with them, because they very much want us there, and we want to be there as well.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Questions? So the 100,000 per year, they're also covering that? Excuse me.
No, the 100,000 for the operating, generally the utilities and cleaning stuff, that's a part of our business plan. That's part of our, obviously, our tuition and revenue that we will gain. And what they're doing is they're supplementing, in addition to the lease, they're supplementing almost close to $300,000 a year that will help us, support faculty positions there as well as operating
So they're going to
expenses.
help pay for faculty there.
Yeah, collectively, they're adding additional, just regular operating funds for however we need to use them.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The resolution is approved. Now get working.
She's been, Judy, Dan, Pat, Andave have been working very hard on this. Actually, they deserve a round of applause. This has been a big lift. Resolution 2022.07/34, authorization to acquire land and purchase property at 715 and 755 Rab Road, Normal, Illinois. With Board of Trustees approval, Illinois State plans to acquire a strategic property located at 715 and 775 Rab Road in Normal, Illinois. The property is of interest to the university as it sits adjacent to university-owned land where the Holder Cultural Center and golf course are located, less than 1 mile from Illinois State University's Alumni Center and 2 miles from the main campus, for a purchase price of $4.1 million, plus reasonable closing and related costs. The property consists of approximately 4 acres of improved land with 2 existing buildings offering some 30,000 square feet of usable space, along with some 270 paved parking spaces. With the market value of the allotted parking spaces estimated at $1.1 million, this allocates the remaining $3 million towards the purchase of the 2 buildings, which translates into an effective cost of renovated administrative and instructional space at only $100 per square foot, substantially lower than current renovation costs of $300 to $400 per square foot, being expended by the university on similar capital projects. The building located at 715 Rab Road, Normal, Illinois, is a single-story facility with approximately 200,000 usable square feet that was originally owned and operated by Lincoln College as an administrative and classroom facility. The exterior construction and interior spaces, including operating systems, are in quality condition. The building located at 755 Rab Road, Normal, Illinois, is a single-story facility with approximately 10,000 usable square feet that is currently being leased to Tricoki University of Beauty Culture, LLC. The university will acquire all lesser rights, privileges, and obligations of the current lease upon purchase. The exterior construction and interior spaces, including operating systems, are in quality condition. If approved, the university plans to use this newly acquired space to help facilitate the relocation of key Facility Services Division personnel from the John Green Complex and other targeted spaces across campus in order to provide the necessary faculty, instructional labs, and student collaboration space needed for the new College of Engineering. In addition, the purchase of these buildings will also allow for the potential to reduce the amount of third-party lease space and corresponding rent paid. This project will be funded by Auxiliary Facility System Parking Division reserves at approximately $1.1 million and general revenue reserves at approximately $3 million. I ask for your approval of this resolution.
We have a motion and a second to approve.
So moved, Bone.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Jones, is there any discussion?
I have a couple questions about this
Go ahead.
one. So right now, Tricoki is leasing that, and they have an opportunity to lease it up until 2027, and it's at their sole discretion. So we may wind up being their landlord until 2027 and not be able to use the space?
Yes, the value as we approached the sellers, we had originally said we could, purchase only one building or the other, and in the decision, they wanted to sell the other property, and they made it very attractive for us to acquire both at that same time. And so we will plan to be the lessor, and it's a very quality building. We visited with them, but they are paying a substantial amount of rent that in theory actually just reimburses us for the purchase price over those years that they'll be using it.
So do we have current arrangements that are similar to this, where we're serving as lessor for people who are in buildings? I'm just looking at this, it's a beauty school, I'm familiar with Trucochi, so I'm just wondering, are we out of our depth, being the landlord for a beauty school?
We're just simply a lessee, a landlord. We'll be collecting the rent, but there's no responsibilities that we have outside of that.
Okay.
Obviously, it is our facility. We'll have to, insure the facility, but we're stepping into a lease with their quality organization.
Okay, and then, finally, so we may not be able to use this space right away, and this parking and all of that stuff that's realized, but we're just getting it because it's at a good price right now, and they package them both together, correct?
That is correct.
Oh, renovation. I keep reading that it's in quality condition, so I'm hoping that as trustees, in a few years, we're not gonna see a resolution in front of us saying that we need to do a bunch of renovation to this space.
Well, this is the resolution. This is a resolution to acquire the property. We will have to probably come back with some furnitures and fixtures type of things once we get in there, but overall, it is, fortunately, there were a number of the rooms being used as a college. We've just got to convert classroom spaces into administrative spaces, but the resolution that we'll bring forth probably in the future will be just for carpet, furnishings, maybe some light construction where we might need to build some walls in there so that it just isn't entirely a cubicle grouping area. But structural-wise, operating systems-wise, it's in very good shape.
Okay, I think this is my last question, I'm sorry.
That's
So
fine.
how soon do we expect that we would be using 715 if this is approved today?
It's going to take us obviously a few months to get in there and assess, some of the furnishing needs in order and actually order. So depending on that, but I suspect we will, again, as we identify those items, and if we have to bring back a resolution in October, especially for furnishings and things, it just represents the timeline needed to acquire that. But I suspect we should be in there, next spring, easily next spring. Our goal is to.
So, I'm sorry, so we already see uses that we can have for 715 pretty immediate after purchase?
Yeah, immediately, we just got to move, we got to take some existing furniture and things over there, but it is in very much in moving condition, but we won't obviously renovate it to a little bit higher standard of interior space.
Thank you, Dan.
Trustee Dodson?
Yeah, and when President Kinsey was reading all the details of it, the engineering school was brought up, so it was long-term to move a lot of the engineering stuff once we get rolling, which I know is going to be a number of years right now, but is that the long-term goal then?
This is step one in the relocation. If you may remember when we discussed the selection of John Green and the Carter Harris complex there are a facilities administration team that is on that complex as well as some staff that is in the John Green building. So this particular purchase was designed to begin that staging process where we're going to be moving individuals out of the John Green complex. It's administrative personnel, and they will move onto this site so that we can dedicate 100% of that area, the John Green facility, and then the front of Carter Harris, in order to be dedicated purely to the labs and the faculty offices and the things dedicated to engineering.
Trustee Bone?
I'm good now.
You didn't want to ask about the money?
Well, I was kind of wondering, so this is the best price for this? Seemed high to me, but.
Well, when you, considering the condition of the property and as was mentioned in the resolution, to be able to acquire quality a property and then without spending a significant amount of renovation, we spend on our own campus anywhere from $300 to $400 of renovation costs per square foot. If we acquire brand new property, for example, the nursing simulation lab and facility is going to be easily $600-700 a square foot. It's going to be very expensive. We acquired the property essentially at about $100 a square foot. We'll certainly have to add some interior furnishings and do some design, but in the end, It was a facility that allows us to convert to administrative space relatively quickly. It also has a couple of, it has right now an existing classroom down there. Down the road, we may end up over the years repurposing space there. It is on the Connect Transit bus route. It's not that far from other existing property. So by and large, it was what we feel was a fair price considering the rest of the opportunity in the community, which is just aren't that much quality space out there that we can acquire that's close enough to campus.
And I think with it being in our footprint too, if we could let somebody else get it and then we eventually need it, we might even have to pay more, so.
This is true. They did, I mean, they had a number of organizations looking at it as a leasing opportunity, and so they were happy with us interested in acquiring it.
So I just wasn't sure that there was a market for that facility in this community to someone else, but apparently you're telling me there was. So.
Well, based on their lease, their leasing agents, they had organizations coming in that wanted to lease it for multiple years.
Okay.
We don't know what their purpose was, but I'm sure it was likely some type of office or administrative type need.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is carried.
Thank you. Resolution 2022.07/35, approval of 2023 calendar year board meeting calendar. I bring to you today proposed dates for the quarterly meetings of the Board of Trustees for 2023. I ask for your approval of the board meeting calendar.
We have a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Bone?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing the motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2022.07/36, recognition of former trustee Rocky Donahue. Whereas, in the fall of 1995, the 89th General Assembly of the State of Illinois passed Senate Bill 241, which was sent to and signed by the governor to become Public Act 89-0004, which established autonomous governing boards for 7 state universities as part of a continuing evolution of the state's higher education system. And whereas Rocky Donahue was appointed by former Illinois Governor Pat Quinn to the Board of Trustees of Illinois State University and participated in his first meeting on November 2nd, 2011, and whereas Rocky Donahue accepted his responsibility as a member of the Board of Trustees and a representative of the state and its citizens to govern and to provide direction for the university. Mr. Donahue's understanding and appreciation of the values inherent in higher education enabled him to bring a level of expertise to the board that was of great value and appreciated by his trustee colleagues. He served the Board of Trustees with a high standard of professional integrity to the lasting benefit of Illinois State University. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees expresses its sincere appreciation to Rocky Donahue for his tireless efforts as a trustee on behalf of Illinois State University and confers on him the honor and title of Trustee Emeritus for his outstanding service and dedication to Illinois State University. I ask for your approval for this resolution.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. That's,
This concludes the resolutions for today.
okay, I would now like to entertain a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, and compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees pursuant to 5 ILCS Section 102/2C1. Collective negotiating matters between the university and its employees, 5 ILCS Section 120/2C2. Litigation which has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal or is probable or imminent is allowed in 5 ILCS Section 120/2C11, and the purchase or lease of real property is allowed in 5 ILCS Section 120/2C5. May I please have a motion and second to approve?
So
that we go
moved,
into
Bone.
executive. Second? Adoption. All those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is approved. We will now move into executive session. Following the executive session, the board will move back into public session solely for the purpose of adjournment. Thank you very much for coming, and have a great day.
Eric's at the press may want to talk to you about the items that were read into the record. He doesn't know, but he just said, just FYI. So.
Gosh, I saw you. Hello there, it's good to see you. How are you? Look, good to see you. Oh, no, I saw you. I saw you come in. I saw you come in with our new staff, with our new, So, you guys are doing great things over there. I'm sure we won't have any problem with the nursing program. All I hear is that we don't have enough room for people. And Springfield is close enough to campus that we shouldn't have any problem.